Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam, and welcome back to Nolan Month. And folks, it is finally time to dig into the Dark Knight Trilogy. Let's start off with Chapter 1, Batman Begins. Having now finally seen following Memento and Insomnia, all three of them leading up to Batman Begins, it feels more like Nolan was building up to something. Like it was good, great, better, and then best. Everything was leading up to Nolan directing the best movie of his career? Or maybe it's The Prestige. I'll have to think about it. But I think I need to communicate to you, the kind but intense viewer, what superhero movies were like back in 2005. We're not living in the superhero golden age like we are now. Back then, superheroes were a little harder to come by, especially Batman movies, thanks to a man named Joel Schumacher. Now, for me personally, I think Joel Schumacher gets crapped on a little unfairly. But unfortunately, his Batman movies are worth all the scrutiny they get. Batman Forever and Batman and Robin are not very good movies, with the latter of which being one of the worst superhero movies of all time, even though I like it in a so bad it's good kind of way. After Batman and Robin's horrible reception with both critics and audiences, Batman was dead as an attraction. There were some Batman stuff still going on, with notably a series called Batman Beyond, which is really good. But when Nolan was announced to direct Batman Begins, people were kind of like, huh? The guy from Memento? People really didn't know what to make of it, especially considering there was a teased Batman movie called Batman Year One that was supposed to be directed by Darren Aronofsky that never got off the ground. But all doubts about Nolan's ability to direct Batman were quickly dashed as soon as the movie was released. And yeah, this movie is awesome. I don't care what anyone says, Batman Begins is the true Batman origin story. It covers nearly everything, from the death of Bruce Wayne's parents, his exile to the rest of the world to try and hone his skills, his recruitment to the League of Shadows thanks to his mentor named Ducard, who would later be found out as Ra's al Ghul, the leader of the organization, his leaving of the League of Shadow, his return to Gotham City, the birth of the Batman, and his battles with the Scarecrow, played by Cillian Murphy, and Ra's al Ghul once again. In many ways, I feel like the Dark Knight Trilogy is the best superhero movie trilogy ever. There's at least one part of it that I think is better than the following, and vice versa. There are certain elements of Batman Begins that I like more than The Dark Knight and more than The Dark Knight Rises. The first and chief among them being the fight scenes. In The Dark Knight, the Dark Knight's fight scenes tended to be a little more handheld cam and a little harder to discern. But in Batman Begins, they're told in beautiful wide shots. One of my favorite scenes in the movie is when Batman is being hunted by the police in the new Tumbler, and he uses the technology to outwit them. And instead of cutting back and forth, it focuses on the Tumbler, and you just see it just outwitting the cops, and it's just beautiful. And as far as Batman goes, he's played by Christian Bale. And there are a lot of people who say Michael Keaton is their favorite, Ben Affleck is their favorite, even Kevin Conroy is their favorite. But for me personally, my favorite Batman is absolutely Christian Bale. We actually see him get to fail in his bid to become the symbol of justice that he wants to become. One of the main themes of Batman Begins is, why do we fall? So we can learn to pick ourselves up. And Bruce Wayne falls a lot in this movie. We actually see him get to mix his League of Shadows training with a little dash of technology, and just into very, very cool results. And I will go on record as to say that Batman Begins may have the best supporting cast of any Nolan film. Here are just some of the names that are on this cast. Michael Caine, Morgan Freeman, Gary Oldman, Tom Wilkinson, Liam Neeson, Ken Watanabe, Cillian Murphy, and Katie Holmes. And that's literally just naming a few. Speaking of Cillian Murphy, he is one of my favorite parts of this movie. He plays Dr. Jonathan Crane, aka the Scarecrow, And I think that he got a bit of a raw deal in this trilogy because because in the Dark Knight Trilogy Rogues Gallery, he had to compete with Heath Ledger as Joker, which won an Oscar, and Tom Hardy as Bane, which, despite some of the problems with that movie, is still a widely respected villain. So people tend to discount Scarecrow. Well, I say no. He deserves all the praise he gets. Cillian Murphy plays the role brilliantly, too. He starts off as just this slightly awkward but still kinda likable psychologist who just so happens to be paid off by the mob. But when he turns on the Scarecrow mask, oh, things get ugly real quick. And I will also go on record as to say that Batman Begins has the best third act of the entire trilogy, where Batman has to fight off Ra's al Ghul and his ghouls? Yeah, let's go with ghouls. And on the subway train, he finally gets him in a compromised position, and just when you think he's about to break the one rule, he doesn't, in one of the best lines of the movie. I won't kill you, but I don't have to save you. And he flies out of the train, and Liam Neeson just like, well, this is all for me, and the train just crashes into Wayne Tower, and it's beautiful stuff. I could talk about Batman Begins for days, but really, it's just a wonderful movie. Go check it out if you haven't. But that is all for me, guys. Thank you so much as always for watching. We are firmly in the golden age of Nolan, and after Batman Begins, he just, on an off day, made probably his best movie, and that's The Prestige. But if you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and if you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button and click the bell to allow notifications. That way when a new video drops, you'll be the first to know about it. My name is Ryan Cam, and I'll see you in the next one.